Handyman news. All right, for all you bulletproof handymen and women out there, if you want to stay bulletproof, this is an important video. I was just doing some research and I was looking at 2023, and just in 2023, hundreds and hundreds of handymen, as well as specialized tradesmen, especially in California and Florida, but all over the country, were charged, and these are criminal charges, for operating outside of what they're legally allowed to do in their state without a license, or what they're allowed to do with their license in their state. Specifically, they were charged with doing work that they weren't licensed to do, or advertising to do work that they're not licensed to do, or offering, in terms of providing an estimate or a verbal agreement to do work that they're not licensed to do. Also, those same three, advertising, offering, or providing an actual written estimate for doing work that's over the legal limit of what they're allowed to do. The legal monetary limit. Every state's going to have some kind of cap on what dollar amount you're allowed to do. And then also specifically for California, some of them it was just for asking for deposits that were over 10% or $1,000, whichever is less. So in California, you can't ask for a 50% deposit before you start work. You have to ask for 10% or 1,000, whichever is less or less than that amount. The fines for these are up to $15,000, depending on which one you got hit with, and they can come with up to 1 year in jail. So this is not a joke. These are criminal charges. They're misdemeanor, but they're criminal misdemeanor charges. You will have to show up in court with a lawyer, and if you can't prove that they were incorrect and that you're innocent, you could get up to a $15,000 fine and or a year in jail. And on top of that, in most states, your license is going to get revoked if you have one, or your ability to get a license in that state will be revoked for life in most states if you're caught operating outside of these bounds. So I'm not saying this to scare you. And also, I want to mention one more time, this is not only California and Florida. They're just the ones that have the most of this. But most states across the country, there are stings. And the way the stings work is they have a house with a fake client. Whoever's undercover is pretending to be a client. And they're going to call you to the house so that you can go there to give them an estimate and look at some work. So what I'm telling you here is not don't get caught. What I'm telling you is don't break the law. Do not offer to do work or advertise to do work that is outside of the scope of what you're legally allowed to do. And then also, just so y'all know, I had one more little caveat here. Oh, yes. Another thing you can get busted on, and this is just about every state, if not all of them, is when you advertise. Even if you're advertising only for work you are legal to do, your business cards, the magnets on your truck, any ads that you do at all, they do need to say not a licensed contractor. And I know what you're thinking is, well, if I say not a licensed contractor, people aren't going to want to hire me. That's probably correct. The solution is to go get your license. So be aware of this, guys. They do these stings routinely throughout the year in most states across the country. Don't end up screwing over your entire future business potential because you want a little extra money or because you don't want to tell somebody no. Don't do work that you're not legal to do in your state, all right?